Well, and you know what's a really fascinating brand that, and because I have a motorcycle, is Harley Davidson becoming what is a luxury brand. And, and a lot of people would look at Harley and think, well, that's a dirty old bike, that. But now, if you own a Harley, you have to own a Harley jacket, a Harley pants, Harley hat, a Harley glasses, like everything is Harley Davidson. So it became a really fascinating study on luxury brands and cult followings. Fascinating, actually.
So when we built Cult, we were trying to think of what would be the outcome if we were to position ourselves and price ourselves and improve our IP to such a way that the dream client would call us up and pay us top dollar for our services. We put Harley on that pedestal.
Right.
And I don't really subscribe to the idea of like The Secret or like karma or like putting stuff out into the universe. I don't know how I feel about that, but something about that situation did reciprocate where Harley did call 3 weeks after we launched Colt in 2012. And so we had the privilege of working with Harley for 3 years, and it was everything I wanted it to be. Where they walked the walk as much as the outside perception of them would be. Now, they were also incredibly self-aware of major headwinds. In fact, our engagement was less about get the Harley diehards to buy more merch. It was 5 discrete audiences that they were losing with. Women, immigrants, inner city, urban. The other 2 escape me right now. But it was like, there's a whole generation of people or a genre of people or cohort of people that were not growing up aspiring to have that easy rider sort of lifestyle, the 55 to 65-year-old kind of white guy dream, midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. So I really respected Harley for not resting on their laurels. Like, they weren't even solving a 12-month problem. They were solving a problem that they were anticipating having down the road. And they were one of the first speakers at the gathering, the very first gathering. Wow. And one of the things that I remember was their head marketer said, we spend 85% of our discretionary marketing dollars on customers, not on prospects.
Wow.
And there was an audible gasp in the room, because that's like literally the polar opposite of what most people do. Most people spend 80 or 90% of their dollars trying to get new people into the brand. And then if they're doing any sort of CRM or customer growth, it's tiny. But Harley, I think, has the second most effective loyalty program on the planet. I think Amazon Prime is the first. But the HOG group, Harley Owners Group, is not a points-based, you have all these sort of lame plastic cards in your wallet for grocery stores and hotels. Like, this is a community, and they spend so much money on that lifestyle, because the best way to get you to buy a Harley is if all your friends have a Harley. Right. And now you feel left out because you're not going for the Sunday ride with everybody. Yep. And then, as you say, you don't want to show up in your non-Harley gear. You want to start doing customizations is the biggest part of their profitability, right? So you buy the base bike, but then you spend thousands on all the upgrades and different things. You would know that. You're a tinker in the garage. And so I just think Harley is such a brilliant example. And again, I said to all the attendees, who here can acknowledge that Harley Davidson's an iconic cult brand? And people like to joke that Harley's the second most tattoo in the world besides Mom. Mom is number 1 and Harley Davidson's number 2. So it's like, if you want customers to love you so much to tattoo you on your body, then the question is, why aren't you doing what Harley has done to do that? He just told you his playbook for the past hour. And my guess is most people are going to walk away saying, I don't, they're the exception, I don't qualify, I couldn't. And they make all these excuses, and that's why they remain mediocre. Yeah. And that it really is, it's not the playbook that's the hard part, it's the courage. It's that leap of faith to go and do something that sounds non-intuitive or goes against maybe something you learned when you got your master's degree or your MBA or something. Right.
It's funny when you drive a Harley and, there's a wave. Yeah, you do to other Harley drivers.
Yeah, Jeep as well. Jeep has the little
give a little wave, but it's funny because there's a bit of a shaming that goes on, because maybe you don't wave at the guy on the other bike. Well, I'd wave at you, but you don't have a Harley, so you're gonna have to step up here a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what that means from a social, human standpoint, but as a business guy, I love it. I don't like shaming people, but I do like I like tribes. I like a good cult brand. There are people that get it, and there's people who don't. And you don't make apologies for the people who don't. And so if you're going to be a Honda guy or a Kawasaki guy, great. Yeah. But you're not part of my tribe. And so we don't go out of our way to water ours down so that it welcomes everybody. It can be, you're kind of with us or you're against us kind of attitude.
And I guess part of, the whole picture is you can't be Harley and create junk. There's no pass. Well, you still have to create a product.
The first of the 8 cult brand principles is be remarkable. It's very hard. Unfortunately, what happens is there's way too many people that have a mediocre offering and they have exceptional marketing. And they just spend all of their time, what we call, putting lipstick on pigs.